Tell me something. I know that you've been associated with an awful lot of celebrities. Do you teach any celebrities to be more positive? Because I would have thought that they don't want people to know that you're helping them get positive thoughts over and become more successful.
Well, in fact,
we want some extras on this. We want to find out. We want the nitty-gritty.
Well, there are people that I help that, of course, confidentiality you can't possibly talk about. But a lot of the rich and famous are very unhappy and insecure. And so it is all about empowering them and getting them to be happy with whatever is going on, not to be reliant on success and material things. But probably the most well-known lady that I worked with who constantly had herself in the media was Jade Goody, bless her.
Yes.
And of course she had terrible challenges, and having a shift in her thinking and her belief and trust and
do you think
faith,
that helped her when it came to the end?
Certainly, absolutely helped her. And
so some of the cynical people about here might just say, well, how did it help her? How do you think it helped her?
It helped her because she was more at peace.
Right.
Oh gosh, she was terrified when she found out that she was ill.
Yeah.
She was absolutely terrified and full of fear. But what she wanted to do was do the best for her boys. And she did. She put a lot of publicity out there. We know, not everybody's cup of tea, but she just wanted to pass over knowing she told me, she said, I'm so excited, Sue. I've managed to pay for my boys to have private education because she hadn't had much of an education. That was a big thing for her, and she felt that was the right thing to do. And she had paid for them to have a private education up until they were 16. And she's very pleased with the dad, their real dad, and she at least was at peace. Yeah. And I think that's the key.
So when you would be talking to her and she wasn't very well, what would you be saying to her?
I think when I first started, if we're going to be talking about Jade, when I first started working with Jade, was before she knew she was ill, but when she had hit rock bottom, when all that big scenario blew up with Big Brother.
So she didn't come to you when she found out that she was ill?
No. Right. She came to me at a point where she had realised things were horribly wrong. She was on suicide watch at the Priory. She was incredibly stressed and hanging on to a lot of resentment about her childhood and what had happened to her. And she took a long, hard look at herself and thought, I've got to change the way I do things. And bless her, she did.
So how do you go about, if you are, say, a naturally negative person, how do you go about being more positive and, attracting good health, success, good relationships? How do you go about that?
Right. Well, what worked for me, and I can only talk from my own personal experience, and now I find that I've helped thousands of other people around the world by following these simple techniques. When I understood the fundamental principle of how powerful our thoughts and beliefs are and our feelings, they're the key things. It's kind of our consciousness, the energy we emit.
Yeah.
So the simple phrase, my thoughts create my future, consciously think about what I was thinking. And I suddenly realised that I was thinking all the negative things and those statements that we make. We've got to identify any negative self-talk that we have. Oh, things never work out for me. I always become ill. I've always got this. We need to change that thinking and change the statements. And that is what I did, have a shift in our thinking to say every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better.
So you're programming yourself in a different way.
Yes, we are reprogramming ourselves.
Like a bad computer, you're programming yourself to do the positive things rather than negative.
Absolutely, but it's very powerful and people don't realise how powerful it is. So number one is become aware of your thoughts and statements and realise, because any negative self-talk is very harming.
Well, you see, I've been reading your book, and the book is Love Life and Live Life, and I found some little gems in it. Are these original? Have you taken them from anybody else? Have you written them yourself?
Well, any ones that I've taken from anyone else, the famous quotes, are in there credited to the person who did it. Yeah,
right.
Like that Emile Coué, that doctor. Every day in every way you're getting better and better. Now, all those years ago, he would go around telling his patients that, but we didn't realise just quite how powerful that is. If we can start to say that to ourselves. And another really useful thing is because it's the way we feel. So if we're feeling low,
so this
feeling
works
negative,
with everybody. This doesn't work with just, certain intelligent people.
No,
This will
absolutely.
work with the average man and woman.
Everybody.
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
It's, people with some severe mental illness and things, I'm not suggesting, but to the normal person, that if they can understand how powerful their thoughts are and just having a shift in their thinking, and things as simply as when you're in pain, when you're worrying about, which is perfectly natural, is just try and shift your thinking away from what isn't right into what is right, what you have got to be grateful for. Think about the people you love and get that positive emotion flowing through your body rather than the negative emotion.
Your transition from being a mother, a wife, and a business lady, and then having all this disaster happening. So how long did it take from that happening to you reprogramming yourself, as you say, and getting your life on track and meaning something more?
I started to see results in how I was feeling pretty quickly once I realised the change, the power of my thoughts. So I started thinking about things that I had to be grateful for rather than things I was worrying about. And I slowly but surely started writing myself goals down, visualising where I wanted to get to, and in how I felt inside changed quite quickly.
Right.
And I always say if we can get our inner world right,
but how
our
long?
outer world reflects.
How long?
Well, to turn it around to what extent? I've been happy for 10 years. And I would say it took me a couple of years to really reprogram my mind that
Right.
I just actually don't do negativity anymore. I know I'm not normal, but I get challenges, but I don't see them as a problem. I never see anything as a negativity.
So any type of problem, you see, you probably, I've got to get this right, because obviously this can help everybody that's listening, and also helping me as well, which is quite good. But so say, for example, you say, well, I'm not feeling very good today, and I'm feeling a bit depressed. I mean, you wouldn't say that, would you?
No, those sort of words. But I know, right, let me tell you, in every moment, we have a choice as to the thoughts that we're thinking. So why would you choose to think about all the things that aren't right? Because if you do, you just try it, it's going to make you unhappy.
So it goes back to thinking
stressed.
that the day is going to be lovely and long.
So in that moment, take control of those thoughts and think about the things that are right, the things you have got to be grateful for, the things you do feel positive about, the people you love. Just try it and you will feel so much better. Your whole body relaxes. You send positive emotion. There's scientific proof that positive emotions are so good for your well-being, heart disease, all sorts of things. In fact, there's actually nothing to discuss.
Well,
so just be conscious in every moment.
You've changed your life and you're a positive guru. And what do you feel inside when you see someone who's really desperate?
The thing is, I don't have a short memory of how I felt when I was desperate. And I can only share people. I've devised my own techniques to help people and to cope with fear and worry and doubt, and all sorts of different techniques, including things like EFT, which is like a tapping technique, emotional freedom technique. It's a tapping technique, and I actually write about it in my book. And for me, that was the most empowering technique to dissolve any negative emotion. And that's what I teach people, these tools and techniques.
Sorry, I want to know more about this. What is that? You actually tap people, and what is
Have you ever seen Paul McKenna? He does helping people get through addictions. He does the tapping. It's the same sort of thing. What it's doing is rebalancing the body's energy system.
Right.
And the only reason I ever talk about it is because years ago, when I was very stressed and very angry about something that had happened to me, I went to see someone, and a lady called Diane B. Edwards, and I write about her in my book. She was an incredible teacher, setting me on my right path, teaching me about letting go of the past, unconditional love, and all this sort of thing. At the time, I thought, what the hell's that all about? But now I get it. And she showed me how to tap through the meridian lines, the energy lines in my body, and it removed the blockages. And do you know what? It was instantaneous how I went from feeling so angry to feeling calm and dissolving that negative emotion. And as I say, these are the tools that I teach people for coping with any problem in life: fear about money, fear about illness, fear about whatever's going to happen to you. And it's very, very empowering.
This is fascinating me with this tapping. And you were saying that Paul McKenna does it when he hypnotizes people.
No, not when he hypnotizes people. It's helping, it's called TFT, EFT, thought field therapy, emotional freedom technique. It's clearing addictions. You can use it for everything.
Right.
It's rebalancing the body's energy system. It's not hypnotherapy. So he does do that, but that's not what he's doing with that. But the way he speaks to people, of course, is very clever. But look, it's very powerful. Anyone can just go online and Google emotional freedom technique. There's all sorts of information about it.
It's not widely known, is it?
Do you know what? It's taken the American personal development field by storm now. They're all talking about it. But this is something we've been teaching. And there are loads of people. I mean, loads. I know so many people that teach it. And it's so, so powerful. But I think really I think the biggest key is to remember in every moment, that's all we've got. So choose happy and positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Every day I'm getting better and better, or think about the people you love and all the things you've got to be grateful for. And that's got to be a way to go.
Do you find that bringing positive thoughts is contagious with people, particularly friends and associates?
It totally is. In fact, there's a lot of scientific evidence on how contagious being kind, smiling, positive thoughts are and positive energy.
We're going to get onto your website and have a look at you on your website. What's your website called, please?
Well, my website is suestone.com. And there's lots of bits and pieces on there, and there's we have a free download of a motivational video, me going hello, good morning, and some positive inputs, so people can download that for free if they want to go on my website.
Keeping people positive and motivating people is your job now, is that right?
Yeah, it's my passion and my mission, I feel, to help people. I think, wow, if I can have such a shift in how I feel, my inner world, my outer world, well, so can other people can do it too. And that's what I love to help people with.
Well, that's what we need more of. So thank you very much indeed for coming in and talking to us, Sue. And I wish you all the very best.